You ever notice how you can spend 3 hours thinking about doing something that would take 10 minutes to actually do? Like, you'll lie there analyzing every possible outcome, every potential disaster, every way it could go wrong. Meanwhile, the thing you're afraid of hasn't even happened yet. You're living in a simulation your brain created, a prison made of thoughts that don't exist. Welcome to Overthinking, the invisible cage 47 million Americans are stuck in right now, and most don't even know they're trapped. This isn't about being careful. This isn't about being thoughtful or prepared. This is about your brain hijacking your life, running the same mental loop 847 times while nothing, absolutely nothing, moves forward. And here's the twisted part. You think you're solving problems. You think all that thinking is productive, but really, you're just rehearsing anxiety with better lighting. You've turned your mind into a courtroom where you're the defendant, prosecutor, and judge. And guess what? You never win. The case never closes. The verdict is always, think about it more. I'm not here to tell you to just stop thinking. That's garbage advice from people who've never been trapped in their own head. I'm here to show you what overthinking is actually stealing from you. And trust me, it's way more than just time. Let's go there. Chapter 1. The 5 things overthinking is stealing. Overthinking doesn't just waste your time, it's actively robbing you. And not in obvious ways, in quiet, sneaky ways that make you think you're fine when really, you're bleeding out. 1. Your present moment. You're not here. Even when you're sitting right here, you're not here. You're in tomorrow's conversation, last week's mistake, next month's disaster that hasn't happened. You're everywhere, except now. Your friend is talking to you and you're nodding, but you're not listening. You're replaying that thing you said 3 days ago that sounded weird. You're at dinner, but you're mentally drafting an email. You're in bed, but you're problem-solving a situation that doesn't exist yet. You're missing your actual life while obsessing over the imaginary one in your head. 2. Your confidence. Every time you overthink, you vote against yourself. You take one idea and turn it into 47 reasons you'll fail. You imagine every way people will judge you, every way it could blow up. And here's what happens. You convince yourself that the critical voice in your head is the voice of reason. But it's not reason. It's fear wearing a suit. You used to trust your gut. Now you second-guess everything. You used to make decisions. Now you make pro-con lists for ordering lunch. 3. Your energy. Overthinking is exhausting. Not sleep-deprived tired, soul-level exhausted. Because your brain is burning energy on problems that don't exist while your body sits still. You ever notice how you can do nothing all day and still feel completely drained? That's because your mind has been running a marathon, sprinting through every hypothetical, every worry, every what if. Meanwhile, actual productive action, that takes a fraction of the energy, but you've already burned through your reserves thinking about doing it. 4. Your relationships. Overthinking kills connection. You're so busy analyzing what someone meant by that text, you forget to just enjoy them. You replay conversations looking for hidden meanings that aren't there. You create entire narratives about why they're mad at you when they're probably just busy. You ruin good moments by worrying they won't last. You sabotage relationships by imagining problems before they exist. You push people away while simultaneously panicking that they're leaving. You're not protecting yourself. You're isolating yourself. 5. Your dreams. This is the big one. Overthinking doesn't just delay your dreams, it murders them. Slowly, quietly, with kindness even. I'll start when I know more. I'll do it when I'm ready. I'll launch when it's perfect. Meanwhile, your dream is dying of neglect while you think about thinking about maybe starting someday. You've spent more time planning than doing, more time researching than creating, more time afraid of failing than actually trying. And one day you'll look back and realize overthinking didn't protect you from failure, it guaranteed it. Chapter 2. Why your brain does this. Okay, so before you spiral into shame about your overthinking, which would be very on brand, let's talk about why your brain does this. Because once you understand it, you stop hating yourself for it. Your brain's job is to keep you alive. Not happy, not fulfilled, alive. And in caveman times, overthinking was actually useful. Hear a rustling in the bushes? Better think through every possibility before you move. Could be wind, could be a saber-toothed tiger. Better assume tiger. That hypervigilance kept us alive. The problem is your brain still thinks you're in that cave. It treats a work presentation like a life or death scenario. It treats a text from your ex like a predator in the bushes. Your overthinking isn't a flaw, it's an outdated survival mechanism trying to protect you from dangers that don't exist anymore. But here's where it gets messy. The more you overthink, the more your brain thinks there's danger, so it ramps up the overthinking. It's a loop, a trap, your brain trying to save you by slowly suffocating you. And American culture makes it worse. We live in a society that celebrates analysis. Think it through, be smart about it, don't be impulsive. We're taught that thinking more equals better decisions, but that's only true up to a point. After that point, you're not thinking, you're spiraling. You're not being thoughtful, you're being paralyzed. And no one teaches you where that line is, so you just keep thinking until your brain is mush and your life is stuck. Chapter 3. The overthinking traps you fall into. Let's talk about the specific traps, the mental quicksand you keep stepping in without realizing it. Trap 1. The what-if spiral. What if I fail? What if they hate it? What if I'm making the wrong choice? What if? You're asking questions with no answers. You're trying to predict the future, which is literally impossible. But your brain doesn't care. It wants certainty in an uncertain world, so it just keeps asking. Here's the truth. What if questions don't prepare you? They paralyze you. Trap 2. The perfectionism prison. You can't start until it's perfect. Can't post until it's flawless. Can't try until you're ready. But here's the catch. Perfect doesn't exist. And ready is a moving target your brain keeps pushing further away. You're not pursuing excellence. You're avoiding judgment. And that's not the same thing. Trap 3. The should spiral. I should be further along. I should have figured this out. I should be better, smarter, more successful. The word should is poison. It's measuring your reality against an imaginary standard that doesn't account for your actual life. Trap 4. The rumination trap. This is when you replay the same situation over and over, looking for different outcomes. That conversation from last week, you've rerun it 200 times, each time finding new ways you messed up, new things you should have said. But here's the thing, the past is done. Replaying it doesn't change it, it just keeps you imprisoned there. Chapter 4. What overthinking actually looks like. Let's get specific, because overthinking hides. It disguises itself as productivity, as care, as intelligence. You spend 45 minutes crafting a 2-sentence text, reading it 17 times, analyzing the tone, wondering if you sound weird. Then you don't send it because now it feels forced. You have a great idea, but spend weeks researching until the idea doesn't feel exciting anymore. By the time you're ready to start, someone else already did it. You lie awake at 2 a.m. creating imaginary arguments with people who aren't even mad at you, winning debates that aren't happening, defending yourself to an audience of no one. You say yes to something, then spend the next 3 days regretting it, crafting the perfect cancellation message you'll probably never send. You avoid making decisions because every option feels like it could be wrong, so you just exist in limbo, stuck, waiting for clarity that never comes because you won't move forward to find it. Sound familiar? That's overthinking, and it's not making you smarter or safer, it's making you stuck. Chapter 5. How to break free. Okay, enough diagnosis. Let's talk about how you actually escape this prison. 1. The 10-minute rule. When you catch yourself spiraling, give yourself 10 minutes. Set a timer. Think about it as hard as you want for those 10 minutes, but when the timer goes off, you move, you act. Even if it's imperfect, even if you're scared. Because action breaks the spell. Movement stops the loop. 2. Externalize the thoughts. Write them down. All of them. Every stupid worry, every hypothetical disaster. Get them out of your head and onto paper. Why? Because when overthinking lives in your head, it feels infinite. On paper, it's usually 4 sentences and half of them don't even make sense. 3. Ask better questions. Stop asking, what if it goes wrong? Start asking, what if it goes right? Stop asking, am I ready? Start asking, what's one small step I can take today? Better questions lead to better answers. Anxiety questions lead to anxiety answers. 4. Practice decisive action. Start small. Make tiny decisions quickly. What to eat, what to wear, which route to take. Train your brain that decisions don't have to be perfect. They just have to be made. The more you practice deciding, the less power overthinking has. 5. Set a thought curfew. After 9 p.m., no big life decisions. No analyzing relationships. No problem solving your career. Your brain is tired. Everything looks worse at night. Give yourself permission to table it until morning. Chapter 6. You are not your thoughts. Here's the final truth you need to hear. You are not your thoughts. Your brain generates thoughts like your heart pumps blood, automatically, constantly, most of them meaningless. Your brain's job is to think. Your job is to choose which thoughts to follow. That anxious thought, you don't have to believe it. That worst-case scenario, you don't have to live in it. That critical voice, you don't have to let it run your life. Overthinking isn't who you are. It's just what your brain is doing right now. And you can change what your brain does. Not overnight, not perfectly, but gradually, with practice, with patience, with one small choice at a time. The prison is real, but the door was never locked. You've just been too busy thinking about how to escape to notice you could just walk out. So here's what I want you to do. Pick one thing you've been overthinking, just one. And today, not tomorrow, not when you're ready, not when it's perfect. Today, take one tiny action toward it. Send the text, make the call, post the thing, start the project. Just move, because overthinking ends the moment action begins. Share this with someone trapped in their own head. Let them know they're not alone, and that the way out isn't through more thinking, it's through doing. One step, right now. Let's go.